Do you remember what happened in Nashville back in 2023? March 27th. The Covenant School, 6 victims. Most people assumed it was just about mental health or maybe even political ideology. But there's something almost no one noticed at the time, and that's exactly what we're going to uncover in this video. By the end, I'll show you a disturbing document and the deeper truth that ties it all together. On March 27th, 2023, a tragedy struck the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee, a private Christian school known for its close-knit community and faith-centered education.
This was a premeditated and carefully planned attack. Our officers acted swiftly to contain the situation and minimize further harm.
6 lives were lost, including 3 young children, all just 9 years old. The community was left shocked and grieving.
She was struggling. We never imagined this would happen. It's so heartbreaking. The pain is unimaginable.
Investigations revealed journals and detailed maps, illustrating a disturbing obsession with the school and a desire for notoriety. Hale had a history of mental health challenges and identified as transgender. Authorities stated no political or religious motives were found, but the wounds run deep in a community bound by faith. And what is interesting about this case? Let's remember Jesus' words. Because lawlessness shall abound, the love of many shall grow cold. Jesus wasn't just talking about chaos. He was warning us about a world where love disappears. And in 2023, we saw what that looks like. At the Covenant School in Nashville, a place built on Christian values, 6 lives were taken, including 3 innocent children. The person responsible wasn't a stranger. She had once studied there. So what happened? Some say it was about politics. Others blame mental health. But what if it's deeper than that? What if it's spiritual? Because this kind of pain isn't new. In 2012, Sandy Hook. 20 children gone in a moment. The attacker? Isolated, numb. In 2022, Uvalde, a school filled with children, and while the attack was happening, people froze. No one stepped in. What's happening to us? Empathy is vanishing. Hearts are growing cold. We scroll past tragedies like they're just headlines. But they're not. They're signs. Prophetic signs. We're seeing what Jesus warned us about, and it's not just out there. It's in our families, in our churches, in our daily lives. People argue online about who's right, while the broken are ignored. This isn't just moral decline, it's the collapse of love. And if we're not careful, we'll wake up one day and realize we've grown cold too. And you're mistaken if you think these signs are just recent. Let's look at world history. Jerusalem, circa 33 AD. A crowd gathered in the early morning light outside the Roman governor's court. They weren't there to witness justice. They were there to demand blood. Standing before them was Jesus of Nazareth, a man who healed the sick, raised the dead, and spoke of peace, mercy, and the kingdom of heaven. He had no army, no weapons, no crimes, yet he had enemies, and they were powerful. The Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, knew Jesus was innocent, so he offered the people a choice: release Jesus or a known murderer named Barabbas. The crowd, many of whom had once cheered for Jesus just days earlier, now shouted as one, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Fathers, mothers, priests, merchants, people who had eaten from his miracles, now blind with rage, cold with indifference. One Roman soldier later said, "I saw no mercy in their eyes, only darkness." It was like love had vanished from their hearts. Jesus was beaten, humiliated, and nailed to a cross. The innocent was executed, while the guilty walked free. And history repeated itself centuries later. In the winter of 1942, during the height of World War II, over 15,000 Jews, men, women, and children, were forced into the freezing forests near Riga, Latvia. They were told they would be relocated, but what awaited them was a mass execution known as the Rumbula Massacre. Ordinary citizens, soldiers, and collaborators, Many with families of their own participated in the slaughter, not in rage, but in cold indifference. Historians call it bureaucratized murder. It was not just hatred that killed. It was the silence of the many, the numbing of love, the fulfillment of prophecy. Because lawlessness shall abound, the love of many shall grow cold. But the evidence doesn't end there. Ancient texts, beyond the pages of Scripture, reveal that this chilling shift of the human heart is no modern phenomenon. In 79 AD, just 1 year before Mount Vesuvius erupted, a Roman philosopher named Seneca wrote a letter lamenting the moral decay of Rome. He described people laughing at violence in the Colosseum, celebrating betrayal in politics, and calling mercy a sign of weakness. "We are becoming beasts," he wrote, a warning from within the empire, yet no one listened. In 1665, during the Great Plague of London, a city once vibrant collapsed into fear and isolation. Historian Samuel Pepys, in his famous diary, wrote of how friends refused to bury one another. Neighbors locked their doors even as cries came from the streets. "The heart of the city is gone," he wrote, not just because of disease, but because of coldness. Love had retreated into hiding. In 1944, the Nazis recorded in detailed logs how entire Jewish villages were liquidated. They didn't use the word murder, they said finalized. The human conscience was reduced to paperwork, bureaucracy replaced emotion, lawlessness made normal, love erased from the equation. And still today, we scroll past injustice. We mock the broken. We argue, but we don't weep. Jesus warned us, not just about wars and famines, but about something far more dangerous. A world where hearts grow cold, a generation where love is the first casualty. From the days of Rome to modern cities filled with noise and silence, the coldness of the human heart is not just a metaphor. It's a pattern. Written, witnessed, ignored, and now lived out in our generation. But there is always a remnant. A few who still feel, who still cry, who still care. Maybe you're one of them. If this message spoke to your heart, comment below. There is still light. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with someone who needs to wake up. Because the time is now. Thank you for watching. May God bless your life.